Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the repurposed podcast show of the N.O.P podcast, where I talk to very interesting people with different conversations to learn about why they do things, why they think about things, and just have the open conversation. And today I have Stephen Rennie of the Peterhead United group, and I would like to welcome him to the show.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much for having me on.
Mm-hmm. And I remember you're part of the group called, is it Peterhead United? Is that what it is? Can
Yeah,
you?
that's right.
Mm-hmm. And would you be able to tell everyone who you are just before we get talk about the organization?
Yeah, obviously my name's Stephen Rennie. Uh, I'm just a everyday working class concerned parent. That's that's all there is to know about me. I'm just a normal guy
Mm-hmm.
that's sick and fed up of being sick and fed up.
What made you decide to start an organization like Peterhead United? Because for people who don't know, is it a rally movement? Is that what it is? A rally movement? Sort of, is it anti-government or is it anti-immigration? Because some people get mixed messages when they see this. Well, it's a brand new organization, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we only started. I think it was June. So the end of June, start of July, we started the organisation. I was actually approached by a couple of friends because we all attended the Great British National Strike in Aberdeen
Mm-hmm.
on 26th, maybe of May. And then I was actually surprised to bump into them there. And then they contacted me and says, "How do you feel about organising a protest in Peterhead?" Which is why that's how it started.
Mm-hmm.
And then we decided to make it an organisation, and it's there's a whole lot of stuff that we're involved in. There's the anti-immigration, which is the big one, but obviously then there's the anti-government. We've got the anti-Scottish government, the anti-UK government.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we're also a strong point for myself being a father of a young daughter. I know and I can see what gets pushed on kids in school. So I'm against all sorts of woke ideology being pushed on children. It's not a school's place. I'm strongly against LGBT being pushed on kids. It's fine in your own house. It's fine if you want to be if you're gay, if you're lesbian, if you're trans. It's all fine as long as you keep that to yourself. Or it's a grown up kind of thing. Never should kids be exposed to something like that. Never.
Mm-hmm.
So I there's it's a whole mix. It's a whole mix. All the UK's problems under one organisation. We look and hope to address every one.
Mm-hmm. And I've seen you. I was at your first rally that was in August, I believe it was. Is that your first
Aye.
one? And you got a fair crowd of people that was actually attending to that one. I was actually
Mm-hmm.
surprised.
I I was pleasantly surprised. Obviously, being the first one, I didn't want it to be a washout. I mean,
Mm,
we had speakers coming up for Glasgow. We had speakers for Glasgow, but we also had people from London that came up to support us at that event. So I'm glad there was a decent turnout for guys like that. Really.
because Peterhead is such far, like it's really far away for them to come all the way up to Aberdeen at least and add that extra distance to the northeast coast.
Yeah.
And I would say I would say I'm very surprised that politics never really goes up to the northeast or ever Inverness or Banff, Aberdeenshire, Aberdeen. You never see a political movement in any form unless it's the government. And were you surprised that you're getting a lot of support from up and down the country and especially in the local area.
I'm not really surprised. No, I'm actually surprised at the amount of pushback that we've got
Okay.
because, I mean, the likes of the immigration crisis, and I mean, I've been speaking about this for the last 10 years,
Mm,
and only now over the last year, I think Scotland started to realise that it's no longer England's problem, it's Britain's problem. Which I've been shouting it before it became Scotland's problem. I was trying to tell people, and nobody would listen. So
mm,
now it's here, and you can see how big the problem is. I mean, places like Aberdeenshire, they don't really have. We don't have a lot of hotels that I can think of in Aberdeen. I know there's one in Elgin because we
mm,
will be attending that soon. But the city, Aberdeen's different. Obviously, they're getting the hotels. We're getting a backlash for that
mm,
because they're all coming into houses. They're all coming into homes in your streets. So I think the I think that's the reason why we've got the support that we've got
mm,
because England's problems are now Scotland's problems,
mm,
and they just don't want to see it get as bad as what England is,
mm.
which is
Can,
exactly how it's going.
can you explain a bit further for people who don't know what exactly is going on? Because people would think I've seen the STV going against you with the flags, but we'll talk about that later on. But
Yeah,
even the movement there, they're like, "Oh, are you offended by these people saying that?" And they seem to find that like they have to pick people, which is odd. You can't find the old granny that just can agree with your TV narrative or whatever it is.
yeah.
So, can you explain to people who, I suppose, don't really see the issues that's going on up here or what's affecting Scotland?
Aye, well, you start with the kids, and I know for a fact that our kids are being brainwashed, absolutely brainwashed with left wing ideologies every single day. I know for a fact. My daughter's in school; she's 9 year old.
Mm,
News rounds played to children in classrooms. Now, news round is a very left wing kind of news channel. That's forcing our children into political beliefs that school's got no job to do. I also know that they have political debates in primary school where they had one on the American presidential election, to which my daughter was the only one that was pro-Trump on a classroom full of pro-Bidens. Now,
mm,
that's obviously my daughter knows our political view. It's not forced on
mm,
kids. Should never be forced on kids. Uh, so she kind of understood that this way, but she coming back and telling me that it's being that there's other ideologies being pushed on them in there. So that's a no go for me, really.
mm,
So I know that the kids are being brainwashed in school. I've seen it firsthand. Uh, Also, the likes LGBT stuff being pushed on kids. It's absolutely wrong. We know that
mm,
there's two genders. That's a fact. We've even had to get the Supreme Court to prove it to 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 Scottish to the Scottish government. What's happening
mm.
here? Hold on, sorry. I think it's just froze. It's that.
Oh,
Ah,
okay.
yeah.
No,
So,
you're still fine on my end.
all right, okay.
It's still it's okay. You're still going. Yeah, you're fine.
I so the teaching children. I mean, schools have now taken the rights, or the Scottish government through schools are trying to take the rights off parents. My 9 year old daughter can now go into school on a Monday morning, tell the teacher she wants to be called George, get dressed, get changed, get dressed in a boys' school uniform, and be addressed as George the whole day. And then at 10 to 3, she'll then get changed back into girls' clothes and then dropped and then let out of school without me being told that's happened. Now, That's my right. That's my child. It's every
Mm,
parent's right to know that. It shouldn't
mm,
be getting applied to in schools.
mm,
So that's my stance in the issues with kids in what shouldn't be happening. So that's that side. The immigration side, obviously, this is we're being flooded, and then we can see it.
mm,
I mean, now when I got a problem, I'm for a town that's got a lot of legal Eastern European migrants in here that are all hard working. You know, some it's not hard working. The hard working ones that come here legally, they get on fine with the community. I get on fine with them. I've got many friends that are legal migrants. So again, that's not the problem. We don't have a problem with foreigners coming into the country. That's
mm.
completely not an issue. The issue is that they're undocumented. We don't know their criminal records. I mean, it's not expensive to get into the UK from Europe on a flight.
It's
You
still
come in and
expensive to leave either.
oh, believe me, it's free. It's free. There'll be a GoFundMe that many million people would donate to.
Sorry, I had to put that joke in there. I had to.
No, that's quite right. But oh, that's the thing. I mean, even if they explained this on numerous occasions to police officers that attend protests at the hotel or the various hotels that we've protested at in Aberdeen, that if we knew who the criminals, the dangerous criminals were in these hotels with these illegals that's coming over here, I get, the illegal thing as well. Again, it drives me crazy. Everybody say it's not illegal to seek asylum, but it's illegal to seek asylum twice.
Mm,
They're claiming asylum in Europe and then throwing their documents away, coming over to the UK, claiming asylum again. They come here with no passports and no documents. That's a problem. So, any dangerous criminals and any genuine people fleeing wars that want to make a better life, we now can't tell the difference
mm,
because we don't know if you're linked with terrorism. We don't know if you've got sexual offence history. We don't know any of that. We don't know if you like to rape women and children. If we knew that, we'd come out with some sort of tag. Well, they shouldn't be allowed in the country in the first place.
mm,
But if we do take them into the country and they get here and they're like, oh, right, they've got a criminal past, we can't send them back, we tag them, electronically tag them, make sure they're monitored. They don't get to leave their hotels and walk the streets, putting women and children at risk. And then you've got the ones that are here legally, right, are here illegally, but for genuine reasons. So until we deport them, we know these guys are not dangerous ones because we've got our documents.
mm,
It's it's mental. Honestly, it is.
mm,
It's not hard. So that's the migration problem. The
mm,
illegal migration problem
mm,
is that we don't know the dangerous ones, and then they're wandering the streets doing whatever they want to anybody, and
mm.
ours, and we're in the wrong for demanding knowledge and safety. But I maybe went off point there.
No,
uh,
it's a vast subject, and
oh, it is. It's crazy.
it's a vast, big subject, and it's only since I suppose this year or since the riots last year of Southport that the
Hmm.
subject of immigration or cultural identity is getting like introduced and asked and talked about and gets thrown
Hmm.
into the Overton window. And I still find Scotland is behind the behind the I don't know the wheel on this one sometimes
Yeah,
because what you said sounds perfectly normal if we talked about Birmingham, but
yeah.
someone might say, surely you can't be tagging people in Aberdeen. There's nothing not wrong with them.
Yeah, Aberdeen, we've seen it. There's five migrant hotels in Aberdeen.
Mm,
We we've hit 4 of them on a regular basis with protests. Only the 4 of them, because there is one in the city centre that we know is the only one that has women and children in it. So that's been avoided. So we know there are student accommodation, the farmers hall, one in Dawn Street, uh, one of Farmers Hall's got 109 flats. I was told by a local resident, 109 flats. That's 109 undocumented, illegal, fighting aged men. And people think that they're all innocent, but remember there was the machete fight on, was that King Street or George Street in Aberdeen
Tell
city
us more about
centre.
that, because I've not heard that before.
I think that was about a year ago now. There was 2 groups of illegal migrants fighting in the main street, or one of the second main street. I think it's the one off Union Street, goes down to the bottom, and then you turn left, and it's the street, it goes right up there. No, it's got a Morrison's on it.
Yes.
It was on there. So there was 2 groups of men fighting with machetes. To which, when the police turned up, it was all filmed. It's all on the social media for everybody to see. And when the police turned up, the groups were separated, and they were told to return to their accommodation. No arrests, none at all.
See,
But
when you hear that line, that's annoying.
aye,
If anyone else did that, they would be booted immediately. Done.
or if you got 2 drunk locals on a Saturday night shouting back and forward at each other, you'd be arrested. You'd probably be fined. You'd be released, but you'd definitely face consequences for shouting at each other or swearing at each other in the street. But a machete fight, if you're illegal, is fine. And we don't want that as a new normal. We don't want to be the new Birmingham or the new Bradford. I mean, it's not about multiculturalism. It's not a problem with people that integrate. It's about people that come here and want to make this country their own. They've said that they want Sharia courts, Sharia laws. That's not what happens here. This is Britain, and our laws are there to be upheld, not bent and amended to please people that come here from a different country. I mean, I wouldn't go to Poland or Spain or Nigeria and then demand things be made the way I want it because I don't like their culture and their rules. No, you either abide by their culture, abide by their rules, or you go home. That's the way it should work here as well.
And I feel that in Scotland, the political dynamics of what the people want, or say you, your organization, what people might say online, are vastly different to what the actual Scottish national government, which seems to be more globalist than won't get into that. But they seem to be more interested in pushing this we are a diverse country, but 95% of it is Scottish white. So I like to know what kind of diversity they're trying to push here when you live in a country that's actually ethnically and known to be very xenophobic to, let's say its neighbor, and then we're just supposed to accept as a culture, not just promote hatred or racism or anything like that, but you're trying to tell people who have been technically xenophobic towards their own Anglo brothers or whoever for years, and some of them have been trying to spark that up for the last 10, 15 years, maybe. And you're like, okay, so someone else can come from another continent and embrace their thing, and you can't talk about it.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, it's weird.
The anti-British and anti-English hate that's been spouted from the nationalists and even the Scottish government for the last, say, 10 years, but I'd say 12, 13, maybe 14 years we've had to listen to that. And the build up to the referendum, it was just just to cause division. And Scotland has never been the same
Mm,
since that referendum.
yeah. And I still I'm trying to make a documentary about the Anglophobia that's in Scotland just now. And I would like to ask you, as you've got your lovely flags behind you,
Uh,
where do you see the division lines drawn up? Like where do you think that people are getting it wrong? Is it the government? Is it the people? Or is there something people aren't getting? Is there something like what do you think it is? Because there's an obvious separation, but I'm trying to see what it is.
yeah, it's I mean myself. The only time usually the only time that I see it Scottish against English was when it came to football.
Mm,
That's it. That's it. Everything else, I'm as British as any Englishman.
mm,
Probably more British than most. I class myself British first and then Scottish. But this Scottish government is the one that started the division. I mean, they go. I mean, before the referendum, they played Braveheart on the TV. You know what I mean?
mm,
That just shows you. It's just trying to spark hate and division. And my group, my group's full of nationalists and unionists. Well, separatists and unionists. I mean, we've got guys that's part of the same group as me that voted for independence and
mm,
changed their mind. I mean, I know a few guys that have voted for independence that now are glad that we never got it, because if you look at Scotland now and then imagine how it would be if we never had the UK government to bail us out time and time and time again,
mm,
Scotland would have been on its knees a long time ago. I mean, we're
mm.
on our knees now, but it would have
Yeah.
been 100 times worse.
I mean, I suppose what I'm seeing is proper ethnic nationalism, like toxic ethnic nationalism. You can
Hmm.
be proud of where you come from, but it's that toxic element. That's the thing I was trying to figure out. It's like you got the civic nationalism, what we're talking about, the British, you can come here, be if you part of our culture, we know there's 4 countries in here, but we all have that civic nationalism that's tied to our culture.
Yeah.
And then there's people who are like, no, no other colored people here, no other races, no other ethnicities. And I'm like, that's the part that gets me off because
Yeah.
I'm the one who I work with a lot of different foreign people, and I have to in public beat a lot of foreign people, but I don't have a grievance with them at all. I have a
Hmm.
grievance with probably their governments, if anything, or
Yeah.
if they've done something really bad that's in public knowledge or in some form. You're like, no,
Hmm.
because um, but when it comes to the division, I'm happy to see your organization trying to fix it, trying to do something about it.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, that's the whole point. I've never had and never will have a problem with anybody because of the color of their skin, and anybody that was a member of the same organization as we are, then they would be booted completely out of that group. I mean, we're
Mm,
distancing ourselves from far right organizations that try to associate. We we don't want anything to do with that. We're definitely not about anything to do with skin color.
mm,
And I want everybody wants unity, but the unity I want is proud Scots stand next to proud Englishmen and Welshmen and Irishmen and
mm,
say, even if they want to put themselves Scottish and English and Welsh first, but we're all British,
mm,
we need to come together because this it's Britain used to be great. We were
mm.
the greatest country in the world. Look at us now. are a laughingstock, and that's down to corrupt, treacherous governments,
Mm.
Tories, Labour. In Scotland, we've got even worse. We've got the SNP, a party that hates its people, that want to replace us with new Scots. You don't call new members of a country new anything.
No.
That implies that the old Scots aren't any use anymore.
Mm-hmm. This is what you just mentioned is a government policy where new people that come from different places can just automatically, is it right? They can automatically become Scottish citizens. Is that
Mm-hmm.
how it works? Because
I think
it's,
so.
yeah, because someone said it was gone, and I'm like, no, I can still see the policy on the government website where they actually distinctly say that new people that come here, you can now get the British or Scottish identity, and you are now Scottish. You're basically making Scottish people a skin suit with that, are you not?
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Aye, now you need to. It might sound stupid, but you need to earn the right for citizenship in the United Kingdom, just the same as I would have to earn the right to become an Australian citizen or an African citizen or a Nigerian citizen or a Polish citizen or anywhere. You need to earn it right. You can't just come here, rock up on somebody's shores and say, right, I want to be a citizen of the United Kingdom. No, it doesn't
Mm.
work like that.
I
You
mean, it
need to
definitely
prove you
doesn't
can
work.
benefit.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't work in America.
No, no,
No.
definitely not. Even Australia, they've got one of the hardest systems to get into there. You need to be able to prove that you can provide
Mm,
for the country that you're coming to and you won't rely on the state, which is
mm.
how it should be here.
And I see in Scotland that people have been more reliant on the state. And I suppose that's a social issue more than I suppose, domestic or other issue. Because Scotland itself, do you feel like it's gone downhill with its own standards? I mean, just in general.
Day. What was it? What was it? They were the highest drug deaths in Europe.
Mm,
They don't care. They voted against a bill the other day for guaranteeing the addict rehab. I think it was. I had a chance to look at it properly. I just seen it
mm-hmm,
quickly. Our education system used to be phenomenal. Used to be one of the best in the world.
mm-hmm.
And look at it now. We've got kids running about classrooms dressed as cats. We've got
Sorry.
them.
Yeah.
We've got them learning meaning rainbow flags rather than their ABCs. I mean, how many adults now can't learn or won't be able to learn or won't be able, sorry, to read and write properly
Mm,
because they're too busy learning ridiculous stuff in school when they should be learning the basics. The basics
mm-hmm,
is what you master first. I mean, the benefit system is an absolute joke.
mm-hmm.
You raise benefits and raise benefits and raise benefits. No, you need to. I'm telling you, if I was in charge of this country, the benefit system would be a lot different.
There'd be a
I
lot. There would be a lot of things I would take away, especially. I mean, bus passes would be one, just to tell people a bit of self responsibility. And I
mm-hmm.
think there's a lack of that in people. They're like, oh, the government can do this for me. The government can do this for me. Do you think this
That's it.
benefits everything else? The reason
I
you're
know.
paying more taxes is because you're reliant on the government to look after you, but you don't. Well, this might be personal philosophy, but if you don't earn what you work for, you're not really valued in a
No,
society, are you?
no, you're just a stray. You're a stray. A part of the problem.
Mm,
Part of the problem. If more people came out and worked, I don't know. The country would be better off for a start. But I mean, it gives you. We need encouragement. That's why we need
mm,
political parties in here that's got to put money in working class people's pockets. That looks to improve things. I mean, you've got your likes of reform. Reforms incentive to get people off benefits was we'll give you 20 grand personal tax allowance before you're taxed. And then you've got the Social Democratic Party. They look to give you 25,000 in your pocket.
mm,
as a personal allowance before you face tax. That's what we need. Parties
mm,
like that that's got to encourage people to get off benefits, not encourage them to stay on them.
mm. Do you think people would exploit that though?
In what way?
Like, I don't know, someone would find a way of saying, "Oh, I don't have to work and I don't have to pay taxes," or just try and get their way around it. That's what I mean. Someone will try.
Oh, you mean like try to beat the allowance?
Yes.
I mean, 'cause we've got it just now. What's the allowance just now? 12,500.
Mm,
I mean, if you're earning 25, I mean, if you're looking at normal, unskilled kind of work, you're looking at making under 30,000 a year if you work full time. So if you're taking 25 grand in your pocket, I mean, you're only if you get paid 30 grand, you're taking home 25. You're only paying tax on 5 grand a year.
mm,
That's nothing. I mean, you're the only
mm,
people that can benefit for that is the workers themselves.
mm,
It'll be a lot more than you're making on benefits.
mm,
So, aye, that's one of Scotland's biggest. It's one of Britain's biggest problem.
mm,
Career benefit claimants.
mm. And I would say there's a lot of issues to really talk about, isn't there? Because
Aye, it's endless.
yeah, it's it's not good to be in a state where Scotland used to be a pioneer in itself with education, philosophy. You've said education and so on, and so many different things, and to see it to a level where I feel like I should start a security force or something to do the better job than the police. But with all these saying people and different organizations going down doing it, trying to do street patrols, and the police are like, "Don't do that." And they're like, "Well, you people are going to start doing stuff if you don't do it."
Definitely. I mean, look at the Aston Villa match for instance. That's a
Mm,
prime example. The police's job is to police away fans at football matches. That's their
mm,
job. They've been doing it for it's, since European football began. They've been
mm,
doing that job, and now because it's a certain set of fans that's coming here, it's not to do with our it's not to do with our hooligan culture. It's nothing to do with that. When we allow bigger football hooligan clubs into the UK on a daily basis and a weekly basis, and there's
mm,
no issue. It's
mm,
purely because of their religion and the police force, whose job is to protect people, feel they don't have the capacity to protect the Jewish community from, or the Jewish football fans from
mm,
a Muslim community.
mm,
That's it there. That's it's the police's job, just like up here. People
mm,
shouldn't be having to go out and protect women and children because it should be their job. I
mm,
mean, you look at a protest, you look at one of these hotel protests we've now got police officers standing out in the streets protecting these hotels.
mm,
Not once at any protest I've been at, there's been any attempt to enter one of these hotels or commit any crimes or acts of violence.
mm.
That's the police again standing there protecting the people that they should be protecting us from.
Mm. I would put in devil's advocate here that the police would say it's to keep the peace between, say, the protesters and the people inside the hotel to keep the peace. Because,
Well, we've
yeah.
been told on numerous occasions by numerous police officers that it's to protect the illegals inside the hotels to make sure that their
Mm,
safety is guaranteed.
mm,
And I would understand if it was threats of violence,
mm,
but there's not. We've never had a threat of violence.
mm,
We since day one, our protests have remained peaceful
mm,
because we're trying to change the media's narrative that we are
mm,
right wing violent thugs, which we're
mm,
not.
mm,
I don't stand with any right wing, any far right violent thugs. I
mm,
wouldn't associate myself with anybody like that. We're just concerned parents and patriots that's here to make a change, and I stand.
mm. And I would say, is can I just check? Is Peterhead United its own thing, or is it connected to any of
Yes,
the other groups? It's its own thing.
It's its own thing, yes, but because we didn't really do protest, we did a rally, and
Right.
then
Mm-hmm.
we were going to be starting the hotel protests. I spoke to John Hall, the organizer and leader of the Aberdeen Against Illegal Migration,
Mm-hmm.
and he was up for starting it, which was he's from Aberdeen, which was a great news. So we
Mm-hmm.
have supported them continuously
Mm-hmm.
from day one and worked with them, but we're still two different organisations, but we just support each other.
But okay, because I've seen protests that's ended in Falkirk, Perth, Glasgow, some Edinburgh as well, where I suppose the media has spun some of the narratives where I've seen people putting flags of I'm not sure if I can actually say it on YouTube, but
Yeah.
it says there was one guy that was at the Falkirk one that says kill them all,
Oh
or
yeah, 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 yeah,
yeah, it
yeah.
was like that. And they're like, everyone on the left of the argument is very quick to label everybody as that. So, how do you make sure Peterhead United doesn't fall into the that sphere? Because there's lots of protesters. I've seen the both sides of them. I've recorded at least two of the Aberdeen protests. Yes, I've recorded at least two of them. No, I've done your one and I've done one for Aberdeen. That's misinformation there. There we go. And I've always seen the other side with they've got their banners, they've got their things, and all they need is one thing from your side to show it. So what do you actually do to make sure everyone doesn't just believe what they say?
What do you mean, like saying any guy, anybody that's on our side that says anything wrong, we try and
Hmm.
stop? Is that what you mean? Yeah,
Yeah, basically like that because you had a in Falkirk you had the one that said "K them all," to which
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
indicating to the protesters, and they just used that one picture for all the time. It means everything, and
Mhm. So I mean, that one in Falkirk was apparently a separate. Well, it was a separate group. I know that for a fact because I know the organizer for Falkirk, and
mm,
she's nothing to do with that at all.
mm,
So I don't think that group's actually been back, but I know that there wasn't a lot of the actual protesters that had seen it at the time because I know that if they'd seen it, then they would have been swiftly removed or their
mm,
flag would have been took off them. So it was only, I mean, I know guys that was at the actual protest when that started, and they never even seen that flag until they seen it in the papers the next day.
mm,
So they were actually surprised as well because I know
mm,
for a fact, I know two of them. There was Alex Kearney for Spartan Child Protection. In fact, Craig Houston was there as well, and Kevin the
mm,
Ranter FX. And I
mm,
know for a fact that if any of them had seen that flag, it would have been took off them and they would have been ejected for that crowd quicker than they turned up.
mm,
So it's the same up here. Anybody turns out with a flag, the banners are checked when they're put up. If anybody wants to bring banners,
mm,
they're always thoroughly checked first to make
mm,
sure that they don't say anything that we don't agree with for a start.
mm,
It's before they're even saying anything offensive.
mm,
And anything like that will just be removed. And if
mm,
you want to remain, then you can go stand at the side out of our area, and the police will obviously be informed that they're nothing to do with us.
mm.
Because I mean, we work with the police very closely,
Mhm.
constantly, just
It's
to
all
ensure.
yeah. It's always good to work with the police, especially the ones in blue. And I've seen some posts from different people saying they are the Gestapo. I'm like, I get it. I know you don't like them,
Mm,
but the last thing you need to do, say for the light or the normal people, is to be flagged by social media posts or even worse, the police to say F them
mm-hmm.
because it
I
doesn't take much.
no, I mean, I'm not got to stand here and defend every single police officer because I think
Mm,
I myself wouldn't be able to do the job. of a police officer because I wouldn't be able to stand there and go against my own people at the command of a boss or an employer. So no, so
Mm,
I do feel for the police. I know
mm,
there's a lot of police that are dead against us.
mm,
Support the opposite side. It's got to be the same in every employment, in every walk of life. But I know that there is a lot of police officers that support us in our movement. So I don't believe it's fair for the police as long as they're responsible. I mean, in England it's different. In England, they're more
mm,
heavy-handed
mm,
because a lot of the protests aren't organised down there, but they're organised up here. And we've worked well. We have had a few police officers that
mm,
aren't well, more than a few in Aberdeen,
mm,
but the liaison officers always seem to work well. We did have a standing liaison officer a couple of
mm.
weeks ago that wasn't the greatest. In fact, he was a flat out idiot, like
Right, okay.
so. But he was only a stand-in.
Mm, right. And I suppose you said the ones in England aren't so organized. Is so what's more organized in Scotland than the ones that we see down south? Because although they're bigger, like what's different?
Because so when we do one of these, we'll obviously make all our preparations first, and then we'll contact the police, let them know what we're doing, where we're going to be. I mean, the laws are different in England as they are in Scotland.
Mm,
So, and then we tell them the script, tell them what's got to happen, what we're looking to get out of it, what we're not going to do, which is cause any trouble. We're not here looking for violence.
mm,
And then that way, they seem to work a lot better. But I mean, saying that, I mean, the police still surround maybe two or three. The police have started surrounding the counter protesters, the pro Palestinian,
mm,
Antifa, Scottish MSPs. They've been getting surrounded for the last couple. It just it works a lot better. I mean, they know what we're going to expect. They know if it's a marching protest because you'll hear the appropriate license or
mm.
what it is, so the police can then make adjustments for it. Whereas in England, I don't know the laws in England, so I think they're different. I think you can just start a protest and then just go where you want.
Mm.
Just in fact, you can do that if you're a lefty anyway. You can do what you want. You can shut down Glasgow, and the police
Yeah.
don't care.
Mm-hmm.
But if you shout at a hotel too loud, that's
Mm-hmm.
when there's trouble.
Mm-hmm. So you guys definitely all make sure. I mean, you guys make sure your things are organized. Everyone knows
Mm-hmm.
what they are, and they know what the script is. And
Yeah.
you've never had an issue with that because you've only had how many protests? Oh, sorry, rallies you've had.
Well, so we had the one in Peterhead. It was our start.
Mm-hmm.
But we've been through and we've done. I couldn't even tell you how much protests we've done in Aberdeen, alongside Aberdeen against illegal migration. I mean, we're through that. I mean, we, they do the majority of the organising. We help them with anything they need. And myself, I work, I work mainly with the protest liaison officer through Aberdeen
Mm-hmm.
because Aberdeen guys are very vocal. They like to be in the thick of it, saying their
Mm-hmm.
part. So the protest liaison officers know they can come to me, and then I'll then go back and discuss with John any points that they've got and any points that he's got.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more of a calmer head in the background
Yeah.
at the Aberdeen ones.
That's
And
why I'm asking about why these like seem to be more organized. How do you control that sort of thing? That's what I mean because I've seen some
I,
videos where the Aberdeen ones are like yelling at police officers for like or just people, and
uh,
some of them have been arrested. I admit that for
aye.
some claim hate crimes or whatever they are, and you're like, uh, is this gonna how's this gonna go?
Well, the guys that have been arrested and faced charges, to be honest, I can't say much about it, but the charges are ridiculous. The
Mm,
claims of inciting racial hatred To me, it's a legitimate thing. So if you're going to be charged with inciting racial hatred, then you must be inciting racial hatred.
Mm. I
Saying
mm,
something that's not inciting racial hatred, you shouldn't be charged for that. It's mental. The powers they're using the powers to try and silence the Aberdeen guys.
mm,
That's all it is. I mean, they're all up in court over the next month or two, and the charges will all be dropped. They'll all be found not guilty. They committed no crimes, so you can't be you can't be found guilty when you haven't committed a crime.
I suppose the reason the crimes are permitted and committed or like charged, that's like word charged, is
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because all it takes in Scotland for a hate crime, because if everyone has to remember, Scotland has hate crimes, England does not, Wales
Yes.
does not, Northern Ireland does not, Ireland sort of does, but not to the extent as not as far as Scotland does. So all you need is the accusation, and that's all it is. The accusation, the report, and that's it. Obviously,
Aye, so I
that's
was uh, I
yeah.
was trying to study the hate crime law today because we've got a tour we're doing at Aberdeenshire.
Hmm.
So I actually found out that saying certain things isn't necessarily illegal. So
Hmm.
even though you get charged over the hate crime, when you actually go to court, you'll be found not guilty
Hmm.
because it's not an actual criminal offence. So when they use the Hate Crime Act, swallow, there can be a lot of things that can get you arrested and charged under the Hate Crime Act, but
Hmm.
none of it is actually a criminal offence.
Hmm.
So there's only certain, like in inciting racial hatred, you need to actually incite hatred and
Hmm.
incite violence against people. When saying somebody that actually offends someone isn't really a crime.
Hmm. Because
So,
that's the defining part between Scotland's hate crime and everything else.
mhm.
There's enough to get you in the door, but is there enough to keep you in the seat?
Well,
Sort of.
that's why they use it because
Hmm.
they know when you get charged, you then get bailed. Now
Hmm.
they're hitting protesters in Scotland with ridiculous bail conditions. You can't, for example, you can't attend protests.
Hmm.
You can't use a megaphone. Can't use a microphone. I know a guy that can't use a megaphone for 2 years.
2 years.
2 years.
Jesus.
Restrictions. Now, obviously, you need to agree. You need to agree to these bail conditions to be released, or you end up staying inside until your hearing. But
Hmm.
they're using this to control and try and stop protesters in Scotland
Hmm.
because when the trial date actually comes up, you get your hearing. Them charges are all being dropped. You're being found not guilty. You're
Hmm.
not being jailed for any of these
Hmm.
offences. But they're only using them at a waste of taxpayers' money because they can control protesters. They can
Hmm.
control organisers, saying that if we now bail them and restrict them from attending these movements, then we can shut them down.
Hmm. Do you
It's
think
not going to
that's
happen.
no? Do you think that's because Scotland's a lot easier to control with these kind of things to happen?
Yeah, 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 definitely. Well, just arrest, charged, bailed, and they can tell you pretty much what you can and can't do. You
Hmm.
can't attend protests. So if you're an organizer and you get charged and then bailed with the conditions that you can't attend protests, that's taking you out of the game. So they now think
Hmm.
that that'll shut down his protest because he's the organizer.
Hmm.
When in reality, somebody else will just step in.
Hmm. And the person that will step in will be a lot worse and will be actually what they're looking for.
I mean that's it because protests then get turned kind of against police because they're now seeing other people being silenced by the police. So certain parts of the protest actually are aimed at the police.
Mm.
So, aye, but
Mm.
they're all well under control.
Yeah. And I suppose the bad name makes it bad for the public perception. But I'm starting to see now, even on the social media discourse, especially Facebook, where this is probably one of the worst, where I see the discourse, where
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually starting to see people using the laugh emoji against the national government when they say, "Oh, this guy's a far right bigot," and everyone's just mocking it
I mean,
because yeah,
if you look, the mainstream media has painted the movement that I'm a part of, like guys like me. When I see myself as a concerned parent, that's it. I've got right wing political views, yes, not far right, no, nowhere
mm,
near far right.
mm,
So always painted on the media that the left wing are the good guys, the right wing's the bad guys.
mm,
You look at the protest, then it's the protesters that are the bad guys, counter protesters are the good guys. Look at the arrests, the numbers that's arrested, look at the violence that's committed. You look at the BLM movements,
mm,
when that was the opposite for the guys like me. They're all out protesting, looting shops, damaging statues.
mm,
When have you ever seen a right wing protest loot a shop, cause damage,
not in this country, no.
tear down statues? Who was the
Mm,
guys that was out protecting the statues during the BLM movements?
mm,
It's the guys that's out in the streets standing with me now.
mm,
It's mental. Like
mm,
we were always painted as the bad guys, but you can see it. You can see
mm,
the swing.
mm,
The media can't hide it forever. The
mm,
swing is there. The left, these far left
mm,
protesters,
mm,
mental. The stuff that the guys that I work with have to deal with on a daily basis is crazy.
mm,
Facebook pages being made up about them, accusations thrown at you
mm,
left, right, and centre, complaints to social services about people's kids.
mm.
It's ridiculous.
Oh, they're evil people. That's the
They're
thing.
very evil.
Oh,
I've
they're
been doxxed online. I've got an emergency response marker on my house
mm,
purely because my address was leaked, published online. Yeah, I've got know your local racist posters made up about me.
mm-hmm,
Everybody that's in the organisation's got them. Nazi posts appearing on walls and lampposts. My
mm-hmm,
granddad fought against the Nazis.
mm-hmm.
It's
Aye.
mental.
And well, the political party that's in charge worked with them.
Aye.
I mean, I wasn't allowed to say that the last few times.
Aye. Aye.
I was told not to say that, and I'm like, yeah, they did. It's in the
Aye.
history
It's
books.
crazy.
We all know, but you keep it quiet long enough, it doesn't work. I suppose that sort of leads into something I wanted to mention that you have not just been doing rallies, have you? You've been doing something with those flags, haven't you?
Aye.
What have
Aye.
you been doing?
We've taken that flag back from the SNP. So we've been doing. Aye. Absolutely decorated. Not so much anymore because the big storm a few weeks ago decimated some of them. But
Oh,
aye, we've donations for the people at Peterhead. We've had flags up as many lampposts as we could get. Every main
mm,
road leading into Peterhead, main streets in Peterhead were all decorated from top to bottom. So, but it's not finished. We're
no.
gonna keep going. No, we've still got more flags. There's still more
Mm,
donations coming in,
mm,
but we are actually taking it up a notch for Christmas.
mm-hmm.
So,
I mm-hmm. Sorry, I cut you
no,
off
no, it's
there.
fine. Aye.
No, for someone who was quite embarrassed by seeing the salt tire with the SMP, and I might want to ask you something a second about that. I'm actually really happy to see it flying about. It's, well, both the flags, to be fair,
Mm-hmm.
because just like with Operation Raise the Colours, is that the right one? That's
Yeah,
happened in
yeah.
England. The Welsh have done it, the Irish have done it, all the Irish, the Scottish have done it, and it's really good to see our national flags getting raised up, and it's such a silent protest against the
Mm-hmm.
government. And now we're starting to see, well, the government in the Scottish government actually having a hissy fit about people like you putting them up.
Aye. Well,
Like, how
you've got
dare you put up your flag, man? What are
I
you
know
doing?
you've got local people, patriots, hanging these two flags from lampposts, while the Scottish government hangs a flag of Palestine above Scottish Parliament.
It's gone now.
Oh, is it?
It was last week I saw that. I went past the thing and they got rid of the UK one, but they took it away and they got two Scottish ones and the Ukrainian one. I'm like, no, we accept the Ukrainian one, but it's like, good, you got rid of the one that that really just annoyed everyone, and I think that's the point where everyone started getting annoyed. It's like everybody got annoyed with that.
See, last year went around the streets and put up a Scotland flag on every single lamppost. You'd have been applauded. The SNP would have called you a national hero,
Hmm.
but because it's not an independence movement that's taken these flags back, that's why they're
Hmm.
not happening. That's what they've seen. That's been the SNP's flag for
Hmm.
14 years. They've used that
Is
to
that
cause
what you
division.
is that what you mean by taking it back? Is that what you
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. That was a sign, a symbol of anti-British hate. That flag. That's what it was for.
Hmm.
The SNP chose that flag, stole it, and then they used it to split his country in two. But
Hmm.
nah, anymore. That's our flag now.
Hmm.
We've took it
Hmm.
back.
And it's you've won the argument where I'm seeing yes campaigners saying racists are putting up that flag, and I'm like,
Aye,
it's your flag.
aye,
It's like, oh, so are we just picking games with when we can call people nasty names now? Because it's like you make no sense. You're a yes campaigner or you're an SNP member, and you're saying, oh, it's the fascists who've taken it back away from them. Well, no,
aye,
no.
aye,
You've been able to call the English racist for putting up the St. George flag, and ever since they put their ones up, you're seeing people having real mental trauma up in the head. They're like, "Oh, what's that mean?" And they're even trying to redefine the UK flag or the Union Jack, saying it means something else. It's like, no, no, no. The reason that cross is there, it's actually perfect when you look back at you. The reason that
aye.
cross is there is because it represents Scotland and England and
Yeah,
Ireland and Wales. Okay, no dragon, but it's fine. But
I know.
I know, just stick a dragon in the middle. It's fine.
Oh,
But
I've never
but
heard about racist. I've never heard the word racist flags until this. It's
mhm.
ridiculous.
Because I think I heard the Aberdeen councillor was like, "Oh, we will make sure we take them down."
Oh no,
Oh,
no. Their words, which were disgusting, was we need to rip down these sinister flags that was saltires.
they
That's a
said that.
that's the Scottish government or an MSP. I can't remember who it was that actually said it, but we've got all the screenshots of it somewhere. But that's how they called it. It was in a P&J, I think.
Hmm.
It was sinister. Rip down these sinister flags.
Sinister flags,
Aye,
and they're supposed to be the pro Scotland people.
aye, mm-hmm.
I mean, oof.
Aye.
Oh man,
Well,
because
they've lost their pro Scotland now. They're on pro Palestine now. That's
mm,
the SNP's new thing.
yeah, and I think Bring the Voice actually said their flags is the Palestine flag, the LGBT flag, and oh well, that's it.
It's crazy.
And it's like they flipped the script on themselves, but I suppose it's clear you're not a big fan of the Scottish government at all.
How anybody could absolutely blows my mind.
Mm,
That's a Scottish government, fully grown men and women that I watched have a debate for 45 minutes on what toilet they should use.
Mm.
It's ridiculous. We've got them running our country, and I don't even know what toilet a man should use and what toilet a woman should use. It's ridiculous.
Mm. And it's stressful, isn't it? Really stressful what we come into. But
Uh-huh.
I'm glad that you've started this movement and you've started this organization that's hopefully going to get bigger and better, because you did one who was against the S&P, wasn't that successful, but it's new.
Well,
It's
we
just
can.
all new.
Aye, I mean, maybe it maybe didn't look successful on the day. There wasn't the numbers that we had hoped to attract
Mm.
in the public, but that rally was watched by 100,000 people. So, and I
So
think it
some
was,
so it was somebody saw you.
I think there was 67,000 watching live.
Mm. And you
So,
you had
the
actually
both.
really good voices up there as well. You had
Mm-hmm.
good people that showed up for that.
Aye, I mean, the Alex Kearney for Spartan Child Protection Team, and we all know what
Mm-hmm.
he does. That's a man that works on a daily basis to protect everyone's children from online
Mm-hmm.
predators and
Mm-hmm.
paedophiles.
Mm-hmm.
So to have that man speak at any event with our group is an honour for me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we had the leader at Aberdeen against illegal immigration on a phone call speech. We
Mm-hmm.
had Scylla, who works alongside John and his dad John, to run Aberdeen against illegal migration. And then we had three of the guys, me, Stephen Mitchell, and Alan Wilson,
Mm-hmm.
speaking, and of course, Kevin the Ranter on behalf of Craig Houston, who
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately couldn't make it. He was gutted he couldn't make it.
That's because of the court, isn't it?
No, no, he was on
No?
holiday.
Oh, he's on
Yeah, he was on
holiday.
holiday.
Oh,
Yeah,
what's he doing? He
yeah,
can't
he
have
was on holiday.
holidays. He can't
He
have that.
deserves it. He
I
deserves
know.
a holiday. Like,
He's been doing really well recently. I'm actually impressed because the last time I saw him was on the Majority Show, and I was like, "Oh, it was the Majority Show." You ever seen that?
no.
It stopped just this time last year, and they were like the anti SMP voice, and we were all part of a look at the election results when the SMP
Okay.
were losing 38 seats, and just beautiful, beautiful. But
Hopefully, we get a repeat next year.
yeah, I think you'll get, as it's just a new thing, it's going to take time to build up. And soon as people start, like I'm saying, we're seeing a narrative change. We're starting
Mm-hmm.
to see people and or things just starting to grow up. Sorry, don't know what that was. Might have been actually the John. Maybe he's not far from here. He's literally just on the corners.
Oh no way! It is.
It is
I can't
him.
believe that.
Oh shit, that's him.
That's class.
Oh man. Oh, he is actually near. Oh Christ.
Fucking
You can actually hear that as well. That was embarrassing.
right.
Um, I don't know what happened there. Okay.
See if I can hear him again. I've just screen recorded this for a couple of seconds to see if I can hear him in the background center. Yes.
Oh my god. Well
Right,
done.
I'll stop at screen recording.
Oh man.
Oh, that's class. Fair play to him. Like,
Okay. Well, he's just gonna keep doing that, isn't he? I can't show where it is because that's showing where I live, but
aye, aye.
I know he's not far from me, and I wasn't expecting that because I did. There was actually an incident next to my house where we did have illegal immigrants that were kind of sitting in the play park next to the primary school in
Okay.
Aberdeen, and you're like, "Ooh, that's close to home."
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, sorry about that. That was a bit random.
No,
But
that's class. That's
I,
class.
I, I,
That's
I
cool, man. Like
know I'm really happy.
Aberdeen against illegal migration, getting involved everywhere,
I know. It's
even on
good.
podcasts.
I know. It's like you were supposed to ask before you come on. Christ. No, we'll get him on eventually. Don't know if he, don't know why he's doing that out there just now. He's still yapping. But Christ, I forgot what I was going to ask you now. Um, you're going to be doing more protests and or rallies. So, would you like to tell everyone what's the plans for future?
The the hearing now is that Peterhead United have gone on a Aberdeenshire tour.
Mm,
We will now be hitting as many towns in Aberdeenshire as we possibly can, try to drum up support for ourselves and also show people like me in these communities that they're not alone. They've
mm-hmm,
got a voice. Okay, maybe they're not in Aberdeen or they're not in Peterhead, so we'll give them an opportunity to come down and stand with us.
mm-hmm,
We're hitting Banff on the 1st of November, so I think that's got to be a challenge, a little SNP stronghold. So
mm-hmm,
the flyers out the 1st of November in Banff at 2:30 at the townhouse on Low Street. We'll be there.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Then we're gonna do the likes of Fraserburgh. We'll work around them all. But Elgin will be getting done because there's a migrant hotel in Elgin.
Let's just ignore that.
but
Let's just ignore that.
yeah, April.
mm,
April's our next big one.
mm-hmm,
It'll be a pre-election rally. We'll have big speakers coming up to that. It'll be a final push. I think it's 2 weeks before the election
mm-hmm,
in Scotland. So we will be encouraging people to get bums off seats on voting day. Make sure you all turn up at the polls.
mm-hmm,
I mean, we need to vote ourselves out with this. If we don't vote ourselves out with
mm-hmm,
this, we're in trouble.
mm-hmm,
So that'll basically be it'll be to push people to or encourage people to take different stances on voting. I know we'll have Advance UK coming up. We'll have Craig Houston Craig Houston, the leader of the Social Democratic Party, coming up.
mm-hmm,
Whether the Reform candidate wants to come or no,
mm-hmm,
she'll be invited anyway. And then after that, we have got our August annual rally
mm-hmm,
in the works as well, which will be massive compared to it last year.
mm-hmm,
I'm not just talking about the size of the crowd, I'm talking about the speakers list. I mean, last year, that speakers lineup was phenomenal.
mm-hmm.
And for us to be able to put on a lineup like that in our first rally was a complete privilege.
You
So
should be proud of that because that was
I
really good.
you look in Scotland for a lineup like that, and it's very, very hard to find one.
Mm-hmm,
So obviously we've got to improve. So I've got a, a penciled in list at the moment, and we're looking to maybe 12 to 15 speakers on
mm-hmm,
the day, all big, they'll all be recognisable. We have got a performer coming up from England
mm-hmm.
to perform live at the
Mm-hmm.
August one.
Okay.
I You'll know our song. I think the
Oh,
whole of the UK knows that song.
oh,
But
okay.
we won't announce her. We won't name her just yet. We'll
No,
leave it
no,
till it's closer up to
don't do that to the Chinese channel that's got nobody watching. Don't do
time.
that.
But it's got to be good.
mm-hmm,
If I get the lineup I want, then it'll blow
mm-hmm,
last year's out the water, and it'll be huge. So
mm-hmm. I am hoping it's all going to go well for you, and hopefully this goes well for anyone who's trying to get this positive image out there because it
mhm.
needs to happen. And just like moments that we have out there, it's just a little bit of fun, a little bit enjoyable. And I think we need to really show that community spirit because I think you'll find a lot of people that will agree with your message who just don't show themselves because they're maybe because that.
I'll have to give him a shout after this.
and,
A lot of
uh,
people are afraid. A lot of people see the riots in England, or they're seen the riots in England last year, and automatically think, oh, if I go to that, there's got to be fighting with the police, we're going to get arrested, there's got to be trouble. We've just tried to show for day one, it's not, there wasn't a single arrest. It's two we've done now. And since we started working with Aberdeen against illegal migration, we came together from the second hotel protest in Aberdeen. And ever since they've run it and we've kind of supported them, there hasn't been a single episode of violence at all. Not one. So
on that note, I would like to ask, how do people find what you're doing?
well, you come to our Facebook page, which is the Peterhead United group. It is a private group. Members are thoroughly vetted before they can join, just to make sure we don't have anybody in the group that's got. Just to make sure there's no lefties in the group to start with, but to make sure that there's nobody joining the group that we don't want posting stuff that the group doesn't agree with. Make sure there's no racism, nothing like that. So members are thoroughly vetted before they're allowed to join. And then also on my ex is probably busier than my Facebook is these days. I'm hardly ever on Facebook now. It's usually X, and that's obviously.
What does your name come up as?
It's at @rightwing_Brit.
Right.
On X.
There will be a link to his account underneath the video.
And then we've also got our YouTube account from Stephen Mitchell. So it's known as Mr. Buckfast. I think he's actually changing his user handle, which is, I think if you search for the Peterhead United group on YouTube, you will get live streams of our protests, our rallies. There will be some other content we'll be doing interviews and stuff. He's just trying to transition to TikTok onto YouTube, because obviously he's got a lot of followers on TikTok and try to build up a new YouTube channel. So I'm sure you know it's kind of difficult.
Oh, 5 of them are a nightmare.
Aye. Jesus.
No, I mean there's nothing on them. They doesn't matter. No. So that is all the pages that we can find you on, or is there anywhere else?
Aye. Peterhead United group on Facebook, Right Wing Brit on X, and then Stephen Mitchell's YouTube on his TikTok. His TikTok's at Mr. Buckfast. But he has got to be trying to swap from that to YouTube. But I mean, I can easily send you a list of
just
links,
send a list.
I send you the links where you can find our content, all our stuff. And I
I'd like to thank you for coming onto the show, and I'd like to thank anyone who's been interested in the N.O.P podcast. If anyone wants to invite themselves onto the show to have an honest conversation, talk about what you want to talk about, you don't have to be big or small. You just have to be honest and good faith conversation. So I'd like to thank you for coming onto the show, and please like, share, subscribe, and all the good stuff to help this channel and this group of yours, Peterhead United, continue. So thank you. We'll see you later. Goodbye.
Thank you for having me. Bye.